How ominous, mysterious, creepy. Also, memories. Hello everybody, welcome back for more Let's Play Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I'm Hunter, the one who's there, fair and a polar bear. In the last part, we went through Sky Chase and Wing Fortress, and in this part, we're going to be doing Debug Zone, which is rather short. It's just the two bosses. However, there's a catch to it. Like the end boss in Sonic 1, you won't have any rings. However, these bosses are a bit more tricky than the ones in Sonic 1, such as Silver Sonic or Mecha Sonic Mark 1. Hi, you can cheese them. Yeah, so this guy, he has a multitude of attacks, which I'll explain in a bit, because I'm going to defeat him first. There we go. So basically, yeah, he has a multitude of attacks. The first one is to rev at you and charge at you with a spiky spin ball, spin dash attack. And yeah, pretty much that. He can also jump over you, he can dash from side to side, and I think that's all I can do. I'll link the boss thing in the manual. Now then, for the true meat and potatoes of this level, this boss coming right up here. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Robotnik's giant mech, or as he's now known as, the Death Egg Robot! Yep, he's basically a giant robot, looks like Eggman. Nothing much to him other than that. However, his hands are spikes, as you might have noticed by the fact that I died just there. But yes, his hands are spikes, and because of that, it can be a bit tricky if you're being impatient. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And you jump over him, and then you go 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, I guess not that time. Okay. Game, I know you've been relatively kind to me up until this point. Can you keep that trend going? I just want to get through this game with a have any use and continue, because that would make me look not like a shitty player. There we go. We defeated him in 15 seconds flat. What a wonder. Yeah, so, Dr. Robotnik's giant mech, or the Death Egg Robot, his weak point is everything but his everything. His big, fat, round, tubby belly. And, how do you defeat him, you ask? Well, here's the way I do it. 2 hits there. Wait until he stops walking. He'll take 3 steps, by the way, and then he'll back up like this. And then we hit him again. Once more with feeling. There we go. Now we walk over to this side. Wait for this to come down. Hit him in his big dumb round nose. Back up. He'll shoot his fist, which is his other attack. Run up to him. Bump in the face. 7th hit. Run over here again. Wait for him to come down. Bop him in the nose. Or clutch through him like that. Yep, that can happen. That can happen. I'm going to avoid not having that happen anymore, for the simple fact I'm going to wait until he stops ducking before, you know, doing that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, there we go. And now jump over him. Rolling spin. Always works. Okay then. You can do this. You can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you. Whoever is speaking that is not Dr. Robotnik size. Okay, 7 lives. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Alright, 2 hits there. Just gonna take my time. Back up. Wait for him to back up. Then take another pot shot at him. One more with feeling. Or get hit by the spikes. Whatever fucking works. You've made it this far. Don't fail now. Oh, for the love of God, don't fail now. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump over him. After this, I'm going to start cutting it out, because it's getting repetitive, isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. Right. I can do this. Okay, if I die again to this guy by using the tactic I explained the first time around, I'm just going to take whatever... I'm just going to be very, 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 very fucking careful. Only take pot shots at him. I'm going to be very, very careful. Okay, then. Cutting! Okay. Try this again. Let's be very careful with this guy this time. I'm only going to take a pot shot at him whenever he stops moving. Okay, we'll take 2 here because, you know, I'm careful about this one. No, actually, I'll just take 1. Yeah, I'm just going to take this very, very, very cautiously. Because it's the best way to beat him. Or glitch... Why does that keep happening? Let's try this again. Shall we? Okay. Keep calm and probably not talk. I just really hate the bit when he ducks down, because that's the ample time to hit him, but his hitbox goes really wonky. There we go, that's 4 hits. Halfway dead. You just gotta back up as soon as he starts doing the thing. It's 5 hits, by the way. Ah, damn it, I jumped too far. Alright, back to the 5th hit again. We're gonna take things carefully. Alright. He's gonna die. He's gonna feel the pain. That's 6 hits. Okay, then, once again, go over to this side. There. It's 8. What's that? I lost count. Oh, jeez. I don't even know. I'm just gonna hit him. I'll keep track and record. I'll check and post editing or something. Post editing? No, editing. Alright. Come on. Only a few more hits. We'll have him dead. For good. And then I'll be free of this monster. This game that has kept me captive for so many times. So many times, so many. It's a very long time. I know. I could do this boss faster. But fuck it. I'm not going to. Patience is key. To meet the Eggman! Yes! 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 Woo! God, that was a head rush. Now my head's throbbing. Oh God. One day, might be able to beat the bastard in under a minute, but not today. A lot more practice will be required. A lot more practice. Finally good. God. Finally great to be able to beat the fucker, though. It takes so much off of my chest now that I'm done. This game, it gets into ya. It gets under your skin. It's very intense. Also, this is the good ending of the game. Not, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of wished that the bad ending was better. Also, fun fact, in the normal ending, meaning you don't get all the Chaos Emotes, there would be blue birds here. They changed them to bald eagles for one reason. Because if they were blue birds, they would flash like Sonic, because they're using the exact same color palette as Sonic would be if he was in normal form. So that's why they're bald eagles for some reason. But yeah. Huzzah! Woo! And that, my friends, is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Ha ha ha! I really made that boss look more difficult than it probably should have been. Right! Everybody's gonna get so mad at me. Everybody's so mad at me. It's like, Hunter, you suck at that boss. I'm like, yes, I know! It's great! But I beat him! Legitimately, 100%. I went through hardships like nobody else. Technical fuck-ups. Glitches in games make me unable to progress a whole lot of shit. Also, hello, Yoshi. It's directed him, Yoshi. Yuji Naka, my bud, my bro, my man. He's not at Sega anymore. Makes me sad. Final thoughts on Sonic 2. I'm not very good at it, as you can tell, as I've said many times beforehand. But since practicing, I have grown to get a little bit better on it. I'm not nearly as close to being as good as somebody who's played a game for 20 years, but, you know, I'm getting there. Yeah. The music in this game, I love it a lot more than in Sonic 1. I don't wonder what the hell music is this? I never heard this in the game. That's the multiplayer music, but it's also Hidden Palace Zone's music. My feet are aching for some reason. Graphically, the game is not that much of an improvement over the first one, but they use a lot more varied colors and contrasting visuals that make it look a lot better, especially Casino Night Zone, because goddamn, that place looks gorgeous as hell. The controls, for the most part, they stay the same. The spin dash adds a lot more unique ways to get around certain places. Most people can probably do a no spin dash run of the game if they tried so hard enough. And yeah, the ending credit zone is called Dreams Come True. They remixed it in Sonic 06. They got Akon to do it. Kinda sounds dumb. Worse things have been done to the franchise by that game, so I'm not totally offended. But, you know, things. So yeah, yeah, Sonic 2 is definitely better than the first one. Sonic 1, with the lack of the spin dash and the slightly, well, it's probably because I haven't played this one as much, because it is a bit longer and the Genesis is not very good on my TV. But, it is a little bit more difficult than the first game, and also a bit better designed. Save for the enemy placement. That can just go fuck itself. Right. So then, end credits, right? I'm done with the game? Fuck no, we're not even close to done with the game. While I may have beaten the main game, there's still a slew of things I have to show off, such as the two-player mode, Tails himself, which is not really all that different to be honest. The cheats, level select, debug, all that good stuff, and last but not least, Hidden Palace Zone. Yes, I'm planning on showing that off through the Android port. I'm gonna figure out a way to do that. Maybe not now, but someday. Anyway, Sega logo time. Let's show off some codes. First, a little visual change that isn't nothing major. Also, Tails. If you press up, down, 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 and up on the title screen with no other input, you will hear a bring, like there. And, well, when you play the game with Tails, which I have switched to beforehand here, you will notice that instead of saying Tails by the lives counter, it'll say Miles. This also applies to the options screen as seen here. Now, Tails in Sonic 2 is really not all that different. Like I mentioned in the Let's Play, the only difference between Tails and Sonic is that, well, Tails is a fox, obviously, and he doesn't have a super form, which means if you want to have an easier time when it comes to complex platforming, but still get the good ending, as it were, with all the Chaos Summons and whatnot, and feel satisfied of having gotten them all, then pick Tails. Also, he has a couple of unique animations. Now then, Tails here is a fox. I think it's time we get the answer to the age-old question. What does the fox say?
It's a jet-propelled bodyboard!
Anyway, now for a slew of cheat codes, beginning with the zone select. Unlike in Sonic 1, you have to do this through the sound test on the options menu. By picking tracks 19, 65, 9, and 17, you play them by pressing the B button on the Genesis controller, you will hear a bring, then press start to get back to the title screen, and then press A. While holding A, press start. Instead of starting the game normally, it'll start debug mode. Or not debug mode. That's later. Yeah, it'll start zone select. It'll open up the zone select menu, which allows you to pick any zone, and even the special stages, which will play through sequentially as you beat them. Now, a couple of other things we're going to activate here. The first being one that I'm kind of technically not going to use, but I'm sort of going to use, which is the debug mode plus the slow motion restart, which is the default debug mode thing. On the sound test in this menu, plays songs 1, 9, 9, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4. And you'll hear a ring sound, pick a zone by pressing start and hold A until Sonic appears, then you'll have access to debug mode. You have to make sure you hold A when you pick the zone, otherwise the debug mode won't trigger properly. Now, on top of that, we're also going to do another cheat, which is the Supersonic plus debug mode, which is 19921124126. As you might be able to tell, this is basically the debug mode code in addition to the Supersonic code combined. The Supersonic code being 4126 on the zone select screen only. Yeah. So, you'll know when you do it right if you hear the ring sound trigger, and after you do the other 3/4 of the Supersonic code, you will hear an emerald trigger, which is what plays if you do the Supersonic code by itself. And then select the zone and hold A until Sonic appears. Now, the other thing I've also done while picking a zone and holding A is I'm also holding C and start, which activates a very bizarre nighttime mode, which makes some of the graphics look a little bit odd. Very, very odd indeed. And this will only work if you've activated debug mode, either by itself or through the Supersonic debug mode code. All it does is basically highlight objects for some reason. Not all of them, but a weird number of them. So, debug mode, how does it work? Oh yeah, and I forgot to... There's also another code you can do on this menu, which is if you play songs 1, 1, 2, and 4, you hear a sound, and that'll give you 14 continues. Pretty much. Pretty much. It's pretty great. If you're sucky at the game, it's basically like the Contra code, but I didn't put it in because I'm a man. Now then, how do you control debug mode? Well, first let's go over the pause abilities of debug mode, which allows you to do a bunch of weird things. Yeah, the slow motion restart thing is when you're pausing the game, you can press A to return to the title screen. If you press B and hold it, you can make the game move at half the speed, which means that all the sound chimes will come in like half as late, and it sounds really weird. Or if you mash the hell out of the C button, you can make the game move at 1 frame a second. Yeah, you can just mash the C button and make the game move at 1 frame at a time, which is really freaking weird. Now then, debug mode itself. One thing I should note, though, is that debug mode does not work for Tails. As you can see here, I'm testing this at Death Egg Zone with Tails, and you can see the debug counters up there, which is what indicates that debug mode is active. But however, you cannot use debug mode as Tails. I don't know why. You just can't. Also, the nighttime thing is active. Anyway, so with Sonic, and only Sonic, because it'll only work with Sonic, press B, which is normally one of the jump buttons, but instead you'll turn into a ring. And then after that, if you press A, you can cycle through the list forward of all the different objects. By the way, you can only spawn objects akin to the zone you're in. So you can only spawn, like, Badniks from Emerald Hill Zone in Emerald Hill Zone, and not Badniks from, say, Casino Night in Emerald Hill Zone, because that's how the game works. Yeah, you press A to advance forward through the debug object list. You can press A and C at the same time to advance backwards, which is really finicky, by the way. I've never been able to get it to work properly. And then you press C to place the object. Anyway, so yeah, you can basically place a bunch of objects, and that one sheet I activated, the Supersonic plus debug mode, yeah. I'm just gonna place a bunch of rings here, and then go Supersonic. Whee! And then get inevitably crushed by spring. Oops. And now I'm gonna do something I feel like I have to do after the hell I went through with the boss, and that is to completely cheese the boss using debug mode and Supersonic. Yep. This is catharsis, ladies and gentlemen. It gets out your rage. And this is how I'm taking it, by completely cheesing the shit out of both Mecha Sonic Mach 1 and the Death Egg robot, because I've wanted to do this for a very long time. How does it feel to be a peasant? Kneel before me! Though honestly, if you're doing this in a run of the game normally, you will be shown. And I'm only doing this because of catharsis, and I'm pulling this out of my ass, but I feel like I have the right to, because I've beaten the game legitimately. So now I can just fuck about it however I like. Play the game how I like. But I'm not going to be doing this every time I play the game again, because, you know, it's just wrong. But yeah, you can cheese the boss. You can do that. And you'll feel like a jerk because you're doing it wrong, unfairly. Alternatively, it is basically just as bad as using save states with the backbone ports or an emulator or something. I don't know. Just try to beat the game legitimately, and then you can play the game like dumb. Anyway, so, until the bonus video comes out, which I have no idea when it's going to be, because I have to figure out how the hell I'm going to record the Hidden Palace Zone video off of my phone, which is where Sonic 2 is on, yes. And I have to get another controller for multiplayer. Next time, with Classic Sonic, we are going to be jumping into Sonic the Hedgehog 3, what many consider to be the greatest game in the series. Pretty much. So until then, see you later, and goodbye.